Susan, can you hear and see me?
I can.
Excellent.
Jarman, can you see the packet?
Yes, I can. What I couldn't get to quickly enough was my mute button. Unmute. And I can see your cursor moving. If you want to try moving the packet a little bit. Yep, I can see it move.
And just so everyone's aware, as they've joined the call a little bit early, it is already live streaming and recording.
Excellent. All right, and I see folks from Hutch, and I see Ross Harper from Labette, and I see Jennifer Callis from SATSI. Thanks, guys, for being on here for when we talk about your programs. Welcome. And Member Hess and Member Mikulka, I also see that you have joined. Welcome.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hi, Charmaine. Thanks.
Hello, hello.
I also have a cold going, Charmaine, so I'm going to sound like some other man here.
That's okay.
I just want you to know. Thank you.
We hope you feel better in time to come to the in-person TEA.
Oh, good Lord, I should be ready for that. Jeez.
Hi, Cindy. I see you too.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Welcome.
Thank you.
And I see Ray just joined. All right.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Right.
Cindy, did you recover from COVID?
Yep, I did. It took a few weeks, to get past the feeling of just blah and just not feel like doing anything. And it was
Really?
horrible feeling, but yeah, all good now.
That's good news.
Yeah. Yeah, the boys bounced back faster than Brian and I did.
Sherman, is Scott going to be on?
Yes, sir. I believe he is.
Okay, just curious.
I am. If you can hear me, Sharman.
Hey, Mike.
Yes, we sure can. And just to let you all know, we do have representation I see already from Hutchinson Community College, Labette Community College, and Salina Area Technical College as well.
Good.
Perfect. Are we waiting on any other TEA members, Sharman? I see Cindy. I heard Ray.
We have member Hoover, we have member Frederick, member McCulka, and member Hess.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we have to officially start at 3, Sharman, or since the gang's all here?
I don't know that we necessarily have to. I would think that that would be at the pleasure of the chair. Susan, Henry, keep me honest. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, our public notice to everyone showed that the meeting will start at 3. So in the interest of that, we'll need to start at 3 o'clock, please, which we can all have a moment of silence, literally for 60 seconds.
Well, we can keep talking about if we can until 3 o'clock. So. All right, it looks like I have 3 o'clock on my clock. Welcome everyone to the October 12th TEA Program and Curriculum Committee meeting. Thanks everyone for joining today. We have a few items on the agenda today, all dealing with the 3 program requests. But first, if you wouldn't mind taking a look at the August 17th meeting minutes. And if you have any noted corrections, please identify those. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Member Hoover, so moved.
Thank you.
Second, Ray.
Thank you, Ray. It's been properly moved and seconded to approve the August 17th Program and Curriculum Committee meetings. All in favor, say aye.
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 Hearing no objections, we'll consider those minutes approved. All right, moving on to our discussion items. Sharman, I'll turn it over to you for item A, and why don't we kick things off with Labette County, or Labette Community College's request.
Yes, sir. Labette Community College is requesting approval of a 60 credit hour Associate of Applied Science in Diagnostic Medical Sonography. This program proposal is slightly different from most of them that we receive, as this request is to expand their current program in sonography. They explained that the proposal to expand the program to offer the AAS was to assist students with financial aid eligibility due to the U.S. Department of Education regulations and due to the need for additional workforce in the occupation throughout the state. LCC estimates a projected enrollment of 16 to 20 students per cohort. Accreditation is through the American Registry for Diagnostic Medical Sonography, and students are required to attend clinical practice hours. Sufficient clinical sites have been available for LCC students. on Kansas Department of Labor long-term occupation projections. These indicate a statewide change of employment for sonography of 1.4% annually, an annual median wage of $80,690. The typical education for the occupation entry is the associate degree, and the annual openings currently equate to 64 jobs per year. I would also note that this occupation is included in the most recent high demand, high wage occupation listing from the Kansas Department of Labor. Lightcast job postings, we did those from September 2022 through September 2023. 1,253 total postings, 216 were unique and were advertised statewide, and the annual median advertised salary was $83,200. Removing job postings with no education level listed, 46% of the postings indicate the need for an associate degree. LCC noted that the Perkins Local Area Needs Assessment in February of 2022 identified a concentrator count of 13 students to fill the short-term demand for the state of 76 employees and a long-term demand of 49. 3 letters of support were included. Supports include continued commitment to provide clinical sites, interviewing program graduates, and serving on the advisory board. Currently, Labette Community College and Neosho County Community College offer this program. You have the AY 2022 KTIP data in your packet. And I would just note that the data for Neosho County Community College is not yet available because their program is starting this year. Regarding collaboration, LCC explained that they did not attempt this due to this being an expansion of their current program, and the recently approved program for Neosho County is seeking to offer services within their own area. They plan to begin the proposed expanded program in the spring of 2024 after approval. They estimate the initial cost of the expansion at $273,272. $254,000 and a little bit of change of that are for existing full-time faculty. They will have $2,592 for existing part-time faculty, $2,700 for accreditation, and then $13,500 for instructional supplies, tools, and technology. Brian Vettis, the Diagnostic Medical Sonography Program Director, will assume responsibility for the program. We did not receive any comments during the 10-day comment period, and I know that we have representation here from Labette. We would stand for any questions.
Thank you, Charmin. Any additional comments from the folks from Labette Community College?
This is Ross Harper with Labette Community College, Dean of CTE. And I thank Charmin for her help on this, and I feel like she did a thorough job of everything throughout. Like she said, we are just trying to help to benefit our students a little bit better on the financial side of things. Our certificate programs are running phenomenally right now, and we're just trying to remove that barrier of the financial needs side of things. So if anybody has any further questions, Brian Vedix is here as our program director as well. Do appreciate it.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks, Ross. Any questions or comments from the curriculum committee members?
This is Cindy. I just have a quick question. How many hours is the current certificate program that you currently run?
Currently, I'm Brian Vidix, the director. Currently, we have 2 concentrations, a general concentration that meets the requirement, and then our vascular, this is kind of why we had to up it just a little bit to become an associate's. Currently, let me look. Now that you asked me that, I kind of forgot. Ross, do you have our hours on hand? Let me see here.
Actually, I do, if you'd like. I just looked in the KEDS data system. The certificate B is 38 credit hours. The certificate C is 56 credit hours.
So this isn't much of much additional to what you're currently doing then?
Correct. What only class we're adding is an intro echocardiogram to the vascular concentration. The general concentration won't change at all. And the only reason we added that course is the vascular was a little bit below the numbers. So we added that course just to make it qualified to meet the benchmark.
Got it. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Good question. Any other additional questions from the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Labette Community College's 60-hour of Associate Applied Science and place it on the consent agenda.
This is Cindy, so moved.
Thank you, Cindy.
Yeah, this is Mark. I'll second it.
Thanks, Mark. All in favor of the motion of approving Labette Community College's request for an Associate of Applied Science, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Congratulations, Russ and Brian. Or Ross, excuse me. All right.
Thank you.
Sharman, let's travel out to Central Kansas to Salina Tech for our industrial machine mechanic program.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Salina Area Technical College is requesting a 53 credit hour technical certificate C, as well as a 65 credit hour Associate of Applied Science in Industrial Maintenance Mechanic. I would point out that once again, this program proposal is slightly different than most that we receive. Salina Area Technical has created a program that is meeting the alignment requirements not only for industrial machine mechanics, but also for automation engineer technology. I personally have not seen a program that actually combines two programs that are aligned this way specifically. Obviously, there is some similarity between those programs, but since we don't have a single SIP code that denotes a combined path for both occupations, this proposal is being submitted under industrial machine mechanic. Accreditation is not required. Students will earn the Certified Maintenance and Reliability Technician certification through the Society of Maintenance and Reliability Professionals. And additionally, this program would prepare students to be able to sit for the Control Systems Technician exam through the International Society of Automation, which is part of automation engineering. They explained that the program proposal was a result of Schwann's Global Supply Chain, Inc., reaching out to them to address building a skilled workforce in these fields. The program was developed in collaboration with 13 additional regional manufacturing businesses that assisted in the design of the courses and curriculum and also donated equipment. And commitments have been made by business and industry to participate on the advisory committee and to interview and hire qualified graduates of the program. They're estimating approximately 15 students per year in enrollment. On the long-term occupation projections, 2020 to 2030, it's estimated a 1.4% increase annually for this occupation, annual median wage of $62,130. The typical education needed for entry is a high school diploma or equivalent, and the annual openings equate to 531 jobs per year. This occupation is also included on the most recent high demand, high wage occupation list. And electrical and electronic engineering technologists, which is what the automation engineering program trains students for, is also a high demand, high wage occupation. It was noted that during the last CLNA, the manufacturing pathway was identified as a pathway with too few concentrators for the current job openings, with a concentrator to annual opening ratio of 1 to 179. They included 3 letters of support, and those commitments include interviewing graduates, providing donations, and serving on the advisory board. We have 4 institutions currently offering the program, and that AY 2022 KTIP data is in your paper. When it comes to collaboration, Salina Area Technical explained that no direct collaboration with other institutions had taken place, but current programs were reviewed. And as faculty are hired for the program, they will be requested to contact similar programs to collaborate on curriculum and best practices. They plan to begin this program in the fall of 2024, estimating the initial cost at $4,669,245 total. A little over 90,000 would be for new full-time faculty, 18,800 for existing part-time faculty, and then 450,000 for equipment and tools, and then additional funds as well as $4 million for the facility renovations. The funding is going to be provided from donations from a grant that they received from the Department of Commerce, from institutional budget, and from the Technical College Base Grant. Vice President of Instruction Jennifer Callis will assume responsibility for the proposed program. And again, we did not receive any comments during the 10-day comment period. And we have several folks, I believe, here from Salina Area Technical College, and we'd stand for questions.
Thank you, Charmin. And Jennifer, because I can see you on video, I'll let you or anyone else from Salina Area Tech make any comments. I think you're on mute, maybe, or I can't hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, go ahead.
We can hear you.
Okay, for some reason my video is not working and apparently Jennifer's audio is not working. So we've taken all the bandwidth in Salina.
Take both the best worlds here.
So yeah, this is a program design that has come exactly the way I think the workforce development should. This is at the request of industry partners who are having a really challenging time trying to hire enough workforce to meet the manufacturing needs in our community. So, you know, it started a few years ago. Schwann's has definitely been a great partner in providing, they've provided some equipment match, some actual automation equipment that we can use, but also I shout out to Great Plains, which is now Kubota. They renovated a facility here in Salina to manufacture skid steers and track equipment. So that automation, that manufacturing process is kind of new to our region. So they wanted to, you know, try and make sure we have enough qualified workforce to meet their needs as well. So this is something that multiple corporations, and we're talking about multinational corporations, are really backing and supporting. We did receive bids for the construction of a new facility in order to house this program, along with a little bit others. So we've got the great momentum, great support. People are really behind the project. So we really think this is exactly what the workforce is needing in Kansas.
All right. Well, thank you for that summary. And I couldn't agree with you more. I know CJ Foods or Schwann's and Kubota or Great Plains have been great partners and great advocate for this to meet some of their workforce needs. Any questions from committee members?
I'm just full of questions today. So this is Cindy again. And this is just maybe more for my understanding. But so when I'm looking at the average wage for the existing programs, that's on the screen right there. And then I think this one was 62,000 maybe. It just seems like there's a pretty wide spread there. Is that the difference in the program? Is it the difference in the industry that it's serving? It just feels like that's a pretty wide spread of average wage. Maybe not. Maybe.
So I can speak a little bit to that. The average wage that we are reporting, we haven't had any particular graduates earn that wage. So we're looking at the industry averages. So based upon the numbers that you're seeing there on the screen, if you take the weighted average, you're probably getting where we're at, about 62,000. It looks like in the Topeka area that the number of graduates and concentrators that get employed are being, brought into industry at a pretty good wage. I'm not sure what differences in the manufacturing setting between the Wichita market and the Topeka market, but it looks like the average wage is pretty significantly higher in the Topeka area. It might be something related to the type of manufacturing and production that goes on in Topeka versus Wichita. It might have to do with the industries represented and what they actually, what zip code or SOC code they are working in. I don't know if Mike Bean, if you maybe have some insight, or maybe April or Charmin.
I was going to speak up here a little bit, just for some background for the Topeka area. We do have a lot of distribution centers. So Target, Walmart's newer, Mars, several of them that are competing for the same type of people. So we have seen those wages increase around here.
Okay. Yeah, it just seemed odd because obviously that bottom one's going to be more in the Wichita area. So it's probably aerospace, but it just seemed pretty low. So I was just curious. But you've answered my question, so I appreciate it. Thank you. And yes, we definitely need this.
We're also looking at 5 students versus 10. So
true.
Somebody could swing it high or low with those input numbers.
Okay.
But I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, though. In the Wichita market, aviation is a big driver. They may not be classified. They may be doing some of the same jobs, but not classified in the right work code for, they may graduate from WSU Tech in that particular program, but they're working in workforce in a slightly different area. So it's a possibility.
And President Nichols, that was actually part of what I was going to also explain.
Okay.
One of the, that's okay. So one of the downfalls of our KTIP reporting is that we can tell that students have graduated, they've exited post-secondary, and they've got jobs. What we can't share is exactly where they have that job. So there may be some individuals in the Topeka area that have are actually working in a different occupation that frankly they make more money in. Versus as well, it may be possible in the Wichita area that a couple of these folks they're all employed, but they may not be employed in this exact occupation. And so that would also sway those numbers. We can say with authority that they are employed. We just can't, it's part of the memorandum of understanding and privacy requirements that we can't say where they're actually employed. And so we do see sometimes that folks are getting jobs that are maybe not quite in that same occupation area.
Very good.
Bring them up or down.
Got it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Mike, this is Deb McCulka. I sound terrible, probably look worse, which is why it's not on video.
I withhold my jokes.
Thanks. The local needs assessment, did I miss, was that included? Was this program identified with your local needs assessment?
Yes, ma'am, it was.
Okay.
Yes, that was a very quick blurb, but in the case of this particular program, their data noted a concentrator to annual opening ratio of 1 to 179 as far as concentrators to annual job openings.
Okay, good. Sorry, I just didn't see that. And the only other comment I have is that it's always, if possible, it's always good to talk to those programs. I have a little awareness of Tech's industrial program and Washburn Tech's, and it's an excellent program, and I would strongly encourage when you're thinking of new programs to talk to those existing programs that are in place. Just an observation or comment.
Thank you, Deb. Any additional questions from the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Salina Area Technical's request for a technical certificate C, along with an associate of applied science and industrial machine mechanic.
I'll make that motion.
And if you're all right, I'd like to place it on the consent agenda too. So sorry. All right. Is there a second?
This is Cindy. I'll second.
Thank you, Cindy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Congratulations, Salina Tech, and thank you for your work with two great companies in Swans and Kubota.
Thank you. We appreciate your work as well as the TEA. We look to make you proud.
All right, Charmin, let's take a little trip a few miles north of, or a few miles south-ish of Salina to Hutch Community College.
All right. Hutch Community College is requesting approval of a 24 credit hour technical certificate A in audio technology. They explained in their program proposal that it was a result of faculty research and industry focus groups sharing a continual need with unfilled audio technology positions. And then they developed the program in collaboration with these employers and with Mid-Kansas Music. They project an implementation year enrollment of 22 students with an increase of 11 students each consecutive year. Accreditation is not required for the program. Students will have the option to earn the Avid Media Composer certification, and internships are built into this curriculum. The long-term occupation projections indicate a statewide change of employment of 2% annually for this occupation, an annual median wage of $43,900, excuse me. The typical education needed for entry into the occupation is a post-secondary non-degree award, and the annual openings currently equate to 44 jobs per year. Concerning support of the program in the local needs assessment, Hutch noted that the 2022 CLNA did not include this program, and they identified this need using labor statistics and local industry partner feedback. 3 letters of support were included with the proposal, and those commitments for the program include interviewing graduates, providing those internships we mentioned, providing mentors, tools, curriculum, and serving on the advisory board. And Kansas City, Kansas Community College also provided a letter of support for this program. And they are that one current institution that currently offers this program. And the AY22 KTIP data is in the issue paper. On collaboration, Hutchinson Community College explained that they have included the program coordinator from KCKCC's audio engineering program in their advisory group meetings to provide input on curriculum and demand for graduates. And they have also worked with KCKCC, and students may pursue further education through KCKCC after completing the certificate at Hutch. The college plans to begin the program in the spring of 2022, estimating initial cost at a little over $38,000, $12,918 for existing part-time faculty, then $11,500 for equipment and tools, and so forth, about $6,000 for facility modifications. And funding will be provided from tuition and the existing program budget. Jolene Cunningham will assume responsibility for the program, and we did not receive any comments during the 10-day comment period. I know we have some folks from Hutch on the call, and we would stand for questions.
Thank you, Charmin. Any additional, I can see the crew from Hutch. Any additional comments from you guys?
Good afternoon, Carter File, Hutchinson Community College. Thank you. We have a number of people here. I'll just ask them each to introduce themselves. And then Bobby, if you just give a little bit of history and background. So start with you, Bobby.
I'm Bobby Obermite, the program coordinator for media communication and production, and an advisor as well in the program. And so as students kept asking about it and we kept talking to our advisory board, it just became really apparent that there's a certain gap in the audio production field, and it's so broad, everything from freelancing to starting their own business to working in salary and for corporations and everything in between. So it's a pretty broad industry and area, and our cert enables them to pick a lot of their field that they want to run into, whether it's in music production, podcasting, filmmaking, and a little bit of everything that might incorporate that skill set.
Yeah, Tricia Paramore, Vice President of Academic Affairs. Jess Fortner, Curriculum Program Improvement Coordinator. And Jillian Cunningham, Department Chair for Department 2.
I think one of the things that I want to point out about this is we already offer these classes in a number of our degrees and our other certificates. This is a purposeful stop out point for these students. Rather than having them intentionally stop out, they can actually get an award, they can get a certificate and be recognized as a completer rather than someone who just gets the education they need and stop out. So again, this doesn't really create any additional cost to the system other than it just gives us an opportunity to give these students the exit point that they're looking for.
Thank you, Carter. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I told you I was in a roll. This is Cindy. Just real quick, I think I heard that the 24 hours that kind of create this certificate, that can be transitioned into to Kansas City, Kansas Community College, and then they can continue on with what? I mean, what would they continue on then to do there?
If they go to Kansas City Community College, they would receive an AAS. And if they went to WSU, they would be looking at a bachelor's path in that same direction.
In the same
so
direction.
Those
Okay.
are two of the institutions we've been talking to quite a bit through this process.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy. Any other questions from community members?
Well, I'll add one in my lovely voice. Actually, I was recently at Wichita Tech and talked to the program that's doing that. And that I thought that sounded really cool, but they're doing it Wichita Tech. And I think this is great. And it would be even better if we pass, if they get the movie making, if we get to make movies in Kansas, this would be a really great baseline program for a lot of kids that would find that really interesting, and it would help support that industry. So I think that's a really good idea.
Any other questions from the committee members? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve Hutch Community College's request for a 24-hour technical certificate A in audio technology and place it on the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion. This is Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy.
This is Ray. I'll second it.
Thank you, Ray. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Well, thank you very much, and congratulations, Hutch Community College. Thank you, Carter.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Sharman, let's move to item B, the Promised Act. And I don't know, I guess let's take them one at a time. I was going to suggest grouping them together, but we probably better do them one at a time.
Sure. So Labette Community College has requested Promise Act eligibility for diagnostic medical sonography. This does fall under the mental and physical health care category in legislation. And this occupation, as I mentioned, is a high demand, high wage occupation from the Kansas Department of Labor.
Thank you, Sharman. Any questions from committee members? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve Labette Labette Community College's Diagnostic Medical Program for the Promise Act.
This Ray, so move.
Thank you, Ray. Is there a second?
This Cindy, second.
Thank you, Cindy. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? All right, we'll consider that approved and on the consent agenda. All right, Charmin, how about Salina Area Tech's industrial machine mechanic?
This also falls under the legislation that specifies as far as the advanced manufacturing and building trades category, and is also a high demand, high wage occupation as far as its eligibility.
Thank you, Charmin. Questions or concerns from the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the Promise Act request for the industrial machine mechanic at Salina Area Tech College and place it on the consent agenda.
Yeah, so moved.
Thank you, Cindy.
Second.
Thank you, Deb. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone oppose? All right. We're rocking now. Final item, Excel and CTE fees for Salina Area Technical College's Industrial Machine Mechanic Program. Charmin, I'll let you give some clarification, and if you'd also add some comments that you and I discussed previously.
Yes, I was just thinking about your comment about us rocking and rolling, and I'm gonna pump the brakes maybe slightly. So
You're gonna rock us.
what you have in front of you is the issue paper, and then you will also have the outline of those fees. So the fees as submitted came to $1,430. After we talked a little bit with Salina, we identified that the $1,000 toolkit fee is actually an optional fee. High school students are not required to purchase the toolkit to participate in the program, but it is an optional cost. So Salina wanted to include it for the sake of transparency, so students can be prepared for the cost should they choose that option to purchase. So what I would like to recommend, if we can, is that we specifically approve and look at the $430 in fees. And then what we would do for the TEA is we would update the issue paper and the form itself to indicate the fees total $430, 120 for uniforms, $250 for textbooks, $60 for the OSHA exam, and then additionally, students have the option to purchase a toolkit for $1,000 should they choose.
Thank you for the clarification. So really we need, go ahead, Cindy.
Sorry, if they choose then to get the toolbox, it's covered, but they don't have to get the toolbox.
That's right. They do not have to purchase the toolkit to participate in the program, but Salina Area Technical College wanted to include that as a possible cost for the sake of transparency as we are reporting Excel and CTE fees, so that students could be prepared if they did want to take advantage of the option to do so.
Okay, good. Thank you.
So Charmin, what I think I'm going to state this correct, but if not, correct me. So really we're approving the $430, and then in the full Tech Ed Authority packet, you will slice that $1,000 toolkit out into the optional category.
That's exactly right. We will move that actually down on your form, down to the bottom area where student expenses are indicated. And we will include the word optional in parentheses next to it. And then I will also update the issue paper to indicate that as well.
Okay, perfect. Well, as outlined by Charmin, all in favor of approving Salina Area Tech's Excel and CTE fees for $430 with the optional $1,000 for the toolkit. please say aye and place it on a consent agenda.
Can I ask a quick question first? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little confused. So on the form, if you go up on the form, you said you were going to move it down to the optional, but it says there they pay for that on their own.
That's
But
right.
if they choose to do that, I thought then you said it would be covered by the CTE if they make that choice to get the toolbox. Did I misunderstand that? Or will it
If I
not be
may.
covered at all?
Yeah, if I may, basically Salina Tech has an agreement with the tool providers to offer a discount on the tools. And as students are graduating with their certification or at any time, they can take advantage of that discount to buy the tools at a cheaper rate than they could out on the open market. However, it is not mandatory that they take advantage of that or that they ever acquire the tools. So that's why what we're proposing to do is pull the $1,000 off of the actual expenses that they are incurring, put it down under as an optional item for students under the student expense, and students then have the choice of spending an extra $1,000 on the tools, or they can simply choose not to, depending on where and how they choose to acquire the tools.
Okay, very good. Sorry, I misunderstood the first time. I got it now. Thank you.
No, I'm glad you're asking, Cindy. That's good. All in favor of approving the Excel and CTE fees for Salina Area Technical College Industrial Machine Mechanic Program and placing it on the consent agenda? Oh, I need a motion.
So moved.
Way ahead of myself. Thank you, Cindy.
This is
Is
Ray.
there a second? Thanks, Ray. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, thank you, guys. Just a reminder, our next committee meeting is November 2nd, and actually Charmin informed me earlier this week that there's nothing in the pipeline. So the likelihood of us needing to meet on the 2nd is slim, with none leading the race in this case. So I use the term we loosely. Charmin and Susan will keep us informed about if we actually do need to meet. And I saw just a few minutes ago before we started the meeting that Susan sent an email asking us, all of the authority membership, to confirm their attendance in a few weeks, I think, at the meeting here. So please take a look at that and respond to that email. Anyone else have a good story or something they want to bring up?
I move we adjourn.
All right. Ray, I wasn't done yet.
Well,
but we will consider your motion.
you sounded like you were done. I was done with you.
I am. I've heard that before today. All right. Thanks, Ray. Unless there's any objection, we'll close the meeting. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.